Hey everybody, this is Joe from the Middle Ground Mike. We're here to talk about the Michigan Panthers game. I want to say that with their victory today, that they are, I believe, oh yeah, they are in the conference championship now again, which I think is pretty awesome. You guys can also check out in the background. Hey, got a little bit more of an official thing, not all that stuff around. We got a couple of neon signs, got the arcade machine, got our fun energy drinks for content creators, gamers, all that stuff from W, but blah blah blah. But it is a great product. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the Michigan Panthers game. They're in the playoffs. The UFL playoffs. They're going to be going to the conference championship for I believe it's the USFL conference is what it's called. That's the second time in 2 straight years. First year they had Jeff Fisher, terrible team. First year in Mike Milne, then last year and now this year, and they're even doing it without Jake Bates, who went to my Lions. Last year he was kicking 60-yard field goals like they were candy in a candy store. But the one play today that is just wow, and I'm gonna put the clip in here. Man, can I lovely? He had an interception that if this kid is not on an NFL team this year, I would be surprised, even as a backup. He should be. Listen, NFL teams, I'm not a scout or anything, but he belongs on one of your fields. Guys like that with that kind of instinct, he recognized it and he went after it and he got it. Pick six. And the footwork to make sure he got into the end zone. He waited for the blocks to develop. Woo! Smart man. Uh, you know, Perkins was not the quarterback today, so, we're going to go on the offense for the Panthers. And ironically, today, the Panthers competition um, had more rushing yards they did. The Roughnecks averaged 5 yards a carry. The Panthers averaged 4.1. The Panthers attempted 23 times rushing the ball. The Roughnecks 25. So today defense definitely did make the difference for the Panthers. Hey, when one part of your team isn't doing the greatest, as it usually does, you do it. Danny Etling, I believe is how you say his name. He had an okay day. His 14 and 22. 159 yards, 3 touchdowns, 63% completion percentage, and he had a rating of 126. And it looks like the Roughnecks were having to do a lot of passing. I watched most of the game. McClendon was 30 for 50, 316 yards, 2 touchdowns, obviously the interception that he got on him. 60% completion, 83 rating. Leading Michigan Panthers rusher was Taua. And on the Roughnecks, it was a Condre White. Man, some of the, most of the game that I did catch, it was a great game. I mean, they're playing to the T. I mean, the Panthers were able to rack up 30 points again. They put up a, good chunk of offense. Not 300 yards, but not bad for, them. They're going to be good. Like I said, they're going to the playoffs. They're going to the conference. The conference game. Can the Panthers take it all home this year? Can they go all the way? I think that's the true question. I think that they can. I think this is the year that the Panthers, they've been back a couple of years with the league. I think this is the year that they do it. Go Panthers. Obviously I'm Michigan got, I live in Michigan. So, just keep plugging away, man. I will be there to watch your last home game of the season. I cannot wait to check it out. Let's go Panthers, man. And let's have some more pick sixes like that. Let me know what you think of this clip because it is phenomenal. And shout out to Mike Nolan, the head coach. Man, you do a great job. Your first season, I was not didn't know, right? But man, you do a great job taking these players and developing them and getting that there. And, a lot of teams should take note of how somebody can do that. You don't always have to have you got to take guys that aren't considered the best of the best the second and develop them and make them the best. And you do a great job at that. Shout out to the Panthers. Shout out to Mike Nolan. Keep doing what you're doing, and keep winning some more games.